Hello, friends. How are you? How's life? How's things? Let me know. Um, I should have brought the Kindle. I read a book. Well, I listened to a book. Two books I've listened to this year. That's remarkable for me. And I thought we'd talk about it. The book is called Atomic Habits. The author is James Clear, I believe. I should have probably looked that up. Um, I got it from my library. I listened to like the first 80% and then kind of forgot about it. And then I got the notification that it was going to get returned, and I was like, oh, I should probably finish that, so I finished it. And I'm glad I did, because it's not a very good book. Like, it's fine. If you don't have good habit forming techniques, maybe go read it. But, like every self help book I've ever read, it's mostly chaff. Like, it could be boiled down to a 10-point bullet list, and you don't need to read the rest, because it's just like filler. That's fine. I mean, I would say if you've read something like Steal Like an Artist, I think that's probably one of the best self-help books I've ever read, because it's just like one sentence per page. Like, you don't need more than that. It's really just about motivating you, and then all this other stuff, these words, is just words, and nobody cares. However, part of that reason I felt this way about this book is because, unbeknownst to me until listening to it, I had developed a lot of these techniques on my own just naturally. And I think maybe that's true for a lot of people. Things like hold yourself accountable, make a list, make it fun for yourself, give yourself rewards. There's a whole bunch of little tips and tricks on how to do something. My favorite has always just been show up, you know? I've talked about playing bass guitar this year. I don't sit and play my bass guitar 2 hours a day every day, but I do pick it up every day. I might only play for 5 minutes, but you know what? That's 5 more minutes than I played yesterday. Or that's 5 more minutes than I played an hour ago, or whatever. It's just keep showing up, because when you start taking breaks, that's when it becomes really easy to just be like, I don't want to do that anymore. And then you move on with your life. I can say I've confidently built a lot of really good habits this year before reading this book. However, when I got to chapter 19 is when this book really got me. It's when I really went, yeah, that's the problem. Chapter 19, he calls it the Goldilocks rule. And it's basically like, to summarize the chapter, it's how do you stay motivated to continue doing the things, whether it's work or a hobby or whatever. And the rule is, the Goldilocks zone is that point where you're being challenged, but not so challenged that you become dissuaded. So this is me. This rule is the problem that I've had my whole life with every hobby I've ever tried. Is I get to a point of competency where it's not challenging anymore to do the basics. I can build a box, I can build a dresser, I can build a whatever. I'm no longer interested in doing those things. They're boring. Like, I've done it. And for me, instead of going, well, let's build a dresser, but let's make it, let's use dovetails, just one notch higher. I'll go, I'm going to build the most perfect thing anybody's ever seen in my life. And I go way beyond the Goldilocks zone. And now it's so challenging, I don't want to do it. Like, I can't, because I just feel overwhelmed. I feel stupid. I feel whatever. It hurts my ego. And so the Goldilocks rule from this book, and I felt it. I felt it so personally that it was like, damn, okay. The Goldilocks rule is push yourself a little more work on something that's just at the edge of your ability, that's just outside of reach. Not so far outside of reach that it becomes overwhelming, not so far below your reach that you're not challenged anymore, but work on something that's challenging you right now. And again, it doesn't take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Whatever you can do that much, come back to it later. And I think that's the real value for me that I found in this book. And that wasn't, like I said, that was the chapter 19 in a 20 chapter book. Like, I found the key to that book for me. And so I can recommend it, especially if you're interested in building good habits. There are tips and tricks in this book that I think you can glean. Again, it's mostly chaff. All self-help books are, in my opinion. There's, an entire chapter could be boiled down to a paragraph, and you'd be good to go. But I did get that, like, I got this, and it helps me understand myself a little bit more. I saw it. I felt it viscerally when I was listening to that chapter. All of the things that I've done, all of the things that I've left behind in my life, because I feel, it's either I'm not feeling fulfilled, or I'm so far challenged it's damaging my ego, and I don't want to do this anymore. So yeah, Atomic Habits. James Clear. Do I have that right? I do have that right. It's worth a read. It's worth a listen. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. If you've read it, let me know what you think. If you haven't read it, I guess let me know what you think. I don't know. Just talk to me in the comments. I'd like that. Okay. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's 1,000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. We've been learning 12 stressful things to stop tolerating. We are on number 12. Your reluctance to say what you need to say. No, you shouldn't start shouting obscenities or berating others, but you must say what you need to say when you need to say it. Don't censor yourself. Speak your truth with compassion, always. 1,000% yes. I am that person that for most of my adult life, I didn't want to hurt other people's feelings, and so I didn't say what I needed to say. And after coming to the realization that I need to be okay with whatever the reaction might be, it's been way better. Yeah, no, that's it.